Klay Thompson is leaving the Golden State Warriors. This is news that is not it's not new. It's old news, which is fine. We can talk about old news sometimes because I've been thinking a lot about this, not just because I'm a Mavericks fan, but also just from a massive basketball standpoint, and really from just this really pulled back view of sports. And I've been thinking just about dynasties and how dynasties work and how they end and how they begin. Like they're just like I like dynasties. I know people don't, but I think dynasties make sports more fun to watch. I think people tune in more. I like it was fun when everyone was rooting against the Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green Warriors. It was fun when everyone was rooting against Tom Brady because they were so sick of him. It makes sports more fun. And we often remember like the peak of dynasties and when they're winning titles and all those things. But I want to talk about the ending of dynasties because the ending of dynasties in sports is never pretty. The breakup of the Golden State Warriors dynasty does not feel that way, especially when I compare it to other recent ones. Like the ending of the New England Patriots dynasty was not pretty. Bill Belichick and Tom Brady grew tired of each other. There was a legitimate disdain after those guys left. I think there still is. I don't think they like each other at all. Robert Kraft threw Bill Belichick under the bus in this documentary that they released on Apple TV. And it didn't end well at all. Nobody liked each other at the end of it. The Cowboys dynasty in the mid-90s, that didn't end well either. Jerry Jones, Jimmy Johnson, college football teammates, won a national championship together at the University of Arkansas in 1969. Legitimate friends. Jerry Jones calls him, hires him to be the Dallas Cowboys' new head coach. Jimmy Johnson revolutionizes the way the teams built their rosters, right? He did it through the draft and emphasized speed over size and all those things. And they go on and they win all these Super Bowls together, and it's great and it's fun. It's like, oh, Jerry Jones, Jimmy Johnson, the best of friends. And then Jerry Jones wanted a little bit too much power. Jimmy Johnson didn't like it, so he left. And they didn't like each other for a long time because of it. The breakup of dynasties it's never pretty. Shaquille O'Neal leaving the Lakers wasn't pretty. He and Kobe didn't get along. Okay, like they had disdain for each other for a long time as well. They were always competitive from the moment that they both left. The Bulls in the 90s, that dynasty didn't end very well either. Scottie Pippen sat out most of the 97-98 season because he opted to not have surgery in the offseason so that he could purposefully miss games during the year. He wanted to stick it to Jerry Krause. That did not sit well with anyone. None of the players liked Jerry Krause. Okay, things were so bad that they entered that season and they literally titled it themselves The Last Dance because they all knew this was the last season that they were all going to be together. Okay, my point, dynasties do not have pretty endings. Even the ones where players stick around and they get old, right? Because there comes a moment where they all realize that they just don't have what it takes anymore. Some ways, like that's even more painful, right? Because you sit back and you watch these guys realize, like it's like, oh, like I am mortal. There are people that are better than us now. Okay. Either way, though, the ending of any dynasty has to happen at some point. Okay. Sometimes it's through losing. Sometimes it's through another player leaving or like one of those core guys, leaving. The Warriors dynasty ended through losing. Okay. Like Klay Thompson leaving is not the end of the Warriors dynasty. The Warriors dynasty ended 2 years ago. They haven't made the playoffs in back-to-back seasons now. So with Klay Thompson leaving, I don't blame him. He still has some good basketball in front of him. If I was him, I'd rather go try and win somewhere else than stay and lose in Golden State. Honestly, I'm surprised that Draymond Green didn't leave last summer. Like, it's apparent that the Warriors are washed, they're old, and they just don't have what it takes anymore. So Klay Thompson is leaving to go to try and win a fifth title with the Dallas Mavericks. Feels eerily similar to Ray Allen leaving the Celtics for the Miami Heat, right? Like Celtics had been at the top of the Eastern Conference for years. LeBron James and these dudes show up, and Ray Allen's like, I'll see ya. I'm going to go try and win a title with those guys. So Ray Allen leaves, and that was kind of the end of those Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Rajon Rondo, and Ray Allen Celtics. And Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett resented Ray Allen for a while after that. And look, I'm not a fan of these, NBA player podcasts, really any player podcast, NBA, NFL, MLB, whatever. Just not a fan. But Draymond Green, he did a podcast yesterday and he spoke on Klay Thompson leaving. And we all know Draymond Green is a very emotional person who will say what is on his mind, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's ugly, doesn't matter. Draymond Green is going to say what's on his mind. And I was half expecting for him to come on and throw some slight shots at Klay Thompson, but he didn't do that. And this Golden State Warriors dynasty coming to an end just feels different than every other one. Based on what Draymond Green said on his podcast yesterday, I don't think that there's this feeling of resentment towards Klay Thompson for leaving.
But it's been a hell of a 12 years. And I can't thank Klay enough, Steph enough. But this is about Klay, man. The healthy competition between him and Steph on who's the best shooter was one of the highlights of my career. Just to watch that on the daily, to watch them go at it after practice, during practice, it was beautiful. It's incredible to watch. So I'm thankful. Someday I'll have more thoughts on this, but it's been a hell of a 12 years. And one day I'll be able to put all these thoughts into place and process them. I can't really right now. But salute to my dog, Killer Klay Thompson. It's been a hell of a ride, champ.
That was Draymond Green talking about Klay Thompson leaving. And just, this guy who is, how do I put it nicely, who is, unafraid of saying whatever is on his mind. He was very kind there, which is kind of out of the ordinary for a guy like Draymond Green. And, it seems like Klay Thompson's leaving on decent terms. Reports came out that Klay Thompson told Stephen Curry not to demand the front office to pay him, which is awesome. A lot of respect for Klay for doing that, because plenty of guys would have been like, I want to stay here. I want to get paid. And they'd go, they do whatever means necessary to make that happen. And, Klay Thompson, I think, wanted to stay in Golden State. I think he wanted for them to pay him, but they didn't want to. So he left. Fair enough. If you're not wanted, why stay? And that seems like a plenty good reason to leave. Players understand that guys want to get paid. I think feelings would be different if the Warriors offered him a max and Klay left anyway. But they didn't. And players understand that other guys are going to go where they can get paid, especially after they've already won 4 titles. Klay Thompson, his legacy isn't really lacking anything. So Steph Curry, Draymond Green seem to understand why Klay Thompson's leaving. And it's just a really unique situation that a dynasty is coming to an end and there is no drama whatsoever. Now, where there is drama, where there's always drama, is the Los Angeles Lakers, especially since Bronny James and LeBron James are both there now. And it's incredible. Father, like son. They're both getting paid. LeBron James signed a 2-year, $104 million deal. Bronny James, his contract fully guaranteed, even though he's never done anything in the NBA. This stuff is crazy. And my biggest takeaway is I just wish that athletes were honest. I listened to Bronny James and LeBron James over the past, 3 days. And I'm like, I just want these guys to be honest. That's all I want. And I understand that honesty from these athletes would ruin some of the discussion we have around players, but it'd be so much more enjoyable. It'd be nice to know that they aren't delusional. And we can add Bronny James to the list of delusional athletes. He had his introductory press conference yesterday, And he said something that I just can't believe. Like, seriously, like, I can't believe that he said this. He was asked a question about, playing with his dad, and I've got the question in the audio, so I'm just gonna play it. But Bronny James, man, welcome to the league.
You played 1 year at USC and joined the team, after the season already began. What about the timing to come into this year's draft compelled you to make that decision? And then how much of a consideration was, well, my father's still an active player?
For me, I always try to put that narrative of me trying to get my name out for myself. But just coming in and trying to get better, Rob has told me that there's a great development system here. So I just want to come in and get my work in and get better every day. But I never really had a thought of, me going to play with my dad, but that's always, there to, take part of. But that wasn't a main focus of mine to do.
What a lie. Just don't lie, man. Bronny James, don't lie. Don't get off on the wrong foot. Come on, man. That was Bronny James talking about why he left USC, why he decided to come out after 1 year, and whether or not him having an opportunity to play with his dad had any role in his decision-making whatsoever. Bronny James, don't lie, man. Come on now. In that response, he claims he never even had a thought about playing with his dad. It's total crap. That's bull. It's a bunch of baloney. It's either that or Bronny James is dumb, which I don't believe. I think Bronny James is a smart kid. Okay? Bronny James apparently never had a thought about playing with his dad. But he only worked out for 2 teams in the pre-draft process. One of those teams was the Lakers, the team his dad plays for. It's like, yeah, let me go work out for the team that my dad plays for. But no, I'm not going to think at all. Like not even a little bit about the possibility of me playing with him. It's just such a lie. Like, don't lie. Jeez. In addition to only working out for 2 teams, one of those teams being the Lakers, his agent, oh my gosh, his agent threatened the league by saying that if anyone other than the Lakers, the team that Bronny James' dad plays for, if anyone other than the Lakers drafts Bronny James, he will go play in Australia. He just won't play next year. Like, just be honest, Bronny. Just be honest. Okay, like, we aren't dumb. We're not. Like everyone sees what's happened. It's only been the lead story on ESPN and Fox Sports since the draft, before the draft. Bronny, don't lie to us. Okay, I know that your dad lies to us all the time. I'm getting to that here in a second, but we live in a world that knows that the Lakers drafted Bronny James because he's the son of LeBron James. Why can't he just say that? Seriously, like why can't he just sit at the podium, right? And it's like, well, Jonathan, he's 19. He doesn't know what to say. His dad's LeBron James. I promise you, his dad coached him on what to say before he sat down in that seat. Why couldn't he have just looked at the reporter who asked him the question and just said, hey, look, I know there's a lot of controversy about why I was drafted here. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to put in the work and to show everybody that I wasn't only drafted because I'm LeBron James's kid. I'm excited to show people that I was drafted because I'm a good basketball player. That is what he should have said. Not all this, oh no, I didn't even think about playing with my dad. I didn't even know that was a possibility. Right? This is a total shock to me, even though I only worked out for the Lakers and the Suns, and my agent told the entire NBA that if anyone other than the Lakers drafted me, I would go play in Australia. Just be honest. Just be honest. Okay, like I get it. Your dad's LeBron James, and he's not exactly the most honest person in the world. And if you're like, Jonathan, what are you talking about? Well, let's just go back 3 days when LeBron James said that he would take a pay cut so that the Lakers could bring in more talent. And then today, he signed a 2-year, $104 million max extension, meaning he didn't take any kind of pay cut at all whatsoever. Okay, he was like, hey, guys, I'm going to take a pay cut so we can have a better roster. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not. Give me $104 million over these next 2 years. Just be honest. Okay, like LeBron, nobody was going to be like, geez, how dare LeBron make the most amount of money possible? What a loser. No. The only reason why we're doing it now is because you lied. Seriously. Okay? Like, just tell the world, like, hey, I want to make every penny possible while I'm in the league. Makes sense. That's what everybody does. That's what everybody should do because you have a short window to make a lot of money. So every professional athlete should look to make as much money as possible. I get it. But don't lie to us and say that you're gonna take a pay cut and then sign a max extension. Don't do that. Not even that. He signed a max extension that put the Lakers over the second apron. So now they're super limited. They can't do anything. He couldn't even take a pay cut to keep them out of the second apron. Like, come on. Don't lie to us, guys. Okay, like we are not stupid. Okay, the people who watch this stuff and pay attention, I promise you, we are not dumb by any stretch of the imagination. All right, so Bronny James lying to us right off the rip. LeBron James doing what he's done for the past 20-plus years. Lie. Also, $104 million, $52 million a year, that is a lot of money for a 39-year-old. It's a lot of money for a 39-year-old. And I know that he's got a lot invested in the Lakers, and they have a lot invested in him, and they've done everything that he has told them to do. I also know that LeBron James was named to an All-NBA team last year, which in theory means that he's still one of the 15 best players in the world. But I have to be honest. I am not giving a 39-year-old $52 million a year in a sport. I'm not doing it. Okay, father time always wins. And as every year passes and every day passes, eventually that body is going to break down. I don't care how good a shape he's in because he's obviously in immaculate shape. But come on now. That's a lot of money. And it's not a wise investment. It's not. To give a 39-year-old $104 million over 2 years and to also give his son, who played 1 year at USC and didn't exactly light up the college basketball world, I think it's also dumb to give him a fully guaranteed contract.